Hey, good morning, Ciph.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
And good night.
And
yes.
It is time for Juan Epstein.
Yeah, thank God. Because I'm getting abused in these streets.
What's up with Juan Ep?
Yo, where's Juan up at?
Yeah, no,
I know, no small talk.
In one sense, I'm super appreciative. In another sense, just shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, nowadays, the moment we slip, that Nori episode comes out. The Nori podcast.
Y'all ain't Nori. Yeah, guess what? We know.
Yo, I have never listened to I don't really listen to other podcasts because I don't like hip-hop podcasts. But I caught an episode of Nori's Drink Champs with Cormega. Fucking dope, man. I never thought I would be, interested in a Cormega long-form interview. You know what I'm saying? It's really good. So congratulations to Drink Champs. EFN, who doesn't really get shouted out enough.
Not as much as he should. Oh, that sounds better.
Yeah, it's really, people just say it's Nori's podcast, and EFN is like, hello.
No. And by the way, he must be the glue, because Nori's a fucking mess. If anyone doesn't know Nori. Does Nori just send you random, promo for his show,
all
too?
Day. And he sends me graphs of, the charts of people downloading.
I don't know how to say to him, I love you, I'm happy for you, yeah. I care. But I don't give a fuck. There's no one could send me this and I would care.
Nobody.
It doesn't make a difference.
Whatever. Hey, listen. Please follow me at Cipha Sounds. CIPHA.
Oh, getting your plugs in early today.
Always gotta get in early.
Plugs in early.
CIPHASOUNDS. Rosenberg.
I'm at Rosenberg Radio.
Good job.
Now before
Consistent.
we have a really interesting guest. I'm really excited. I love. Listen, because let me tell you something. Let me talk about Nori real quick and DJ EFN, if that's even your real name. They interview these rappers, American rappers, right?
Hold on. You can't jump right into it.
I'm not going to. I'm going to come back to your story. But I'm just saying, they interview colleagues from Nori's era, right? American rappers from the 90s.
Queens.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, okay, you knocked on your next door neighbor's door to get an interview.
Well, congratulations. So, really? Your best friend came by. Oh, wow, fantastic.
Good. Yeah, you working real hard on getting guests.
Yeah.
Your friends.
We go all over the world, Ciph. And the story that we're going to tell today, I think, is a really interesting one that truly we've never done on this show at all before. So I'm excited about that. But real quick, you hit me, and normally you don't give a shit and have anything to say, but you said I have a story I need to tell on One Ep.
Well, now you made it like it's that good.
It's not that good.
So Chappelle's in town.
Okay. Oh, God.
I've been telling him about One Ep. It was very close. He was going to come. And then he got caught up in some dinner shit. But he said next time he'll do it.
He really... Hold on. But it does disappoint me. He's never heard it?
I love the dude, to death. I don't... He doesn't give straight answers, yo. It's fucking... And then usually he's drunk.
Yo, if he comes in here, if we do it here, is he going to try to smoke a cigarette in the studio?
Yes. So
we can't do it here?
We can't do it here. Do it somewhere. He smokes nonstop, yo.
So no matter where we are, he's...
I don't know. I guess he curbs it when he does certain things.
Do you think if he walked in and saw that we're clearly in a super corporate building, he would still try to smoke a cigarette?
I think he thinks he could probably get away with it.
No. We
I know.
We couldn't. We couldn't. I couldn't get away. Now, but that said, we have to make it happen. And Ciph, I will tell you, as really worthless as you are at pulling guests. Yeah. You delivering Chappelle would make up for at least 3 years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And wouldn't make up for all 8 years?
No, not at all.
But no, 3 years are back.
Yeah, I would just get that credit.
No, you get us, Chappelle and J-Lo, boom, 5-6 years covered.
J-Lo,
you're back. We can get J-Lo. We just have to go to her, I bet.
That's my sister.
J-Lo, I
love her.
Wouldn't she love it? I think she'd enjoy the podcast.
I love J-Lo.
How much time? Is that all they pay you just to say that?
Yeah.
Why?
So listen. So real quick, we're gonna get to. Wait 1 second. So last night Chappelle's at this comedy cell, right? Did an hour and a half. Whew. I'm gonna tell you this joke we did first, but first I'm gonna tell you this thing. After all the joking around, he's sitting on the piano, smoking cigarettes, drinking, making jokes. He gets into this mode. He's like, "All right, y'all had a lot of fun. Now I'm gonna give you something real." And he tells this story of him at some Muhammad Ali, I don't know what you call it, like a tribute or something.
Okay.
When Muhammad Ali was alive.
Got it. He was there, you mean?
Yeah, it was for Muhammad Ali when he was alive. And it was about something to do with the ACLU lawyers that represented him when he didn't want to go to Vietnam and all that shit back in those days.
Okay.
And the ACLU lawyer had a stack of papers of transcripts of the FBI listening to Martin Luther King and to Muhammad Ali's phone calls.
Okay.
And he's reading the conversation the night before Martin Luther King gets killed between him and Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali's telling them, hey, man, be careful out there. Them whites is crazy, or them whites will kill you. And then he gets killed. Then Chappelle goes into this thing of how in the 60s...
Is that conversation common knowledge?
I don't know. It was... in the 60s, he's saying that... who's the head of the FBI? Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover declared war on blacks in America because he felt that there's no way blacks could be absolutely loyal to the country because they were slaves.
That I've heard, yes.
And that they would probably be the leading force of the communist revolution in this country.
Right, because they couldn't be loyal because they were slaves. Right.
Right. So, and they weren't treated equal. So if anyone's going to go communist, it would be them. So he declared war. And Chappelle's saying this shit, and at first, it's, you know, it's kind of funny. Like, Muhammad Ali was drawing on a napkin, and then it got to the realest shit ever. And he was like, you got to understand, from that moment on, from the FBI trickled down to the police, is why they have declared war on the blacks, and how black people are looking at it like acts of terror against their race. And, yo, the crowd is, like, dead.
How white was
silent.
The crowd, by the way?
It's always very white.
Very white, right?
Yeah, it's always very white. And the crowd's dead silent. And then he's like, you gotta, damn. He said the gays were fighting for, you know, equal rights, and the women are fighting for equal time, equal pay, and the black people are just fighting to just matter. And you go against that. He goes, the country's broken, and if you don't use your whiteness to spread the word to the evil whites, because you're obviously good whites if you're here listening to jokes and shit, to spread the word to the evil whites, this country is going to fucking be destroyed.
Wait, he said that specifically, giving a message to white people of how it's
Yes.
how there's a responsibility of white people.
Yes, the good whites to talk to the evil whites.
But why would the evil whites want to listen to us?
Who's us? You're Jewish. Stop it. Stop with your camouflage whiteness. You're not white. Stop it.
Oh, I'm not even counted? I need, like, the white. We need the whites. Like, white.
Yeah, why white?
Could I get Alexa to do it?
Probably half of her.
What do you mean? She's, the Ukrainian can't even count?
I don't know. It feels weird.
Wow, that's
like yellow,
real.
white.
But really.
Sorry. No
wow.
disrespect. That was weird. So now, real quick. So last thing, then we'll get to our guest. So then, but this
you're making anti-Asian jokes in front of him.
I'm wearing like an Asian shirt.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
a
know
fucking
why.
mess.
This is a coincidence.
And you're making him
Do you know what it says?
No, what does it
I
say?
hope Coca-Cola. There's a Coca-Cola logo.
What language is it on the shirt?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hold on. I don't understand what he's saying. He's Asian. All right. So,
Okay, it's very confusing. I know.
So, all right. So, anyway, Chappelle's on stage. This is my highlight of my comedy career. I'm just telling you that. That's what I'm talking
Oh, wow, really?
Highlight of my comedy career. I'm sitting there. He talks. He's on for like an hour. I walk in the room. He sees me. He's like, hey, y'all. Hey, yo, that's Cipha Sounds, yo. He's like, you going on next? I'm like, not after you. He's like, good move. Then he goes, yo, remember him, y'all? He was the DJ on the Chappelle show. And the crowd's like, oh, yeah.
Pretending,
Whatever.
even though they've seen you before because you host there.
Well, there's always not a lot of the same people in the audience.
But there has to be some recurring regulars.
There's a lot of out-of-towners.
Because it's so famous. And,
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So then there's, so whatever, he's talking to me. Then this other comedian comes in who was on earlier. And he goes, hey, Elon, what's up, man? What'd you do earlier? What was some of the bits you did? And he's like, oh, I did a joke about how I know why dogs are scared of black people, because dogs know that chocolate can kill them. So Chappelle laughs, and he goes, oh, that's funny. He goes, by that same note, black people bark at salt? And he's like, huh? And he goes, you know, because salt kills black people. You know.
Heart disease?
Like heart disease,
okay.
High blood pressure. He goes, you know, salt kills black people more than the cops. And then I go, yeah, that's why they call it assault. Yo, son, the place erupted, yo. It was the greatest moment of my life because it was like a setup, a premise from one comedian, a setup from another comedian on stage.
Who happens to be
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
And a punchline from me that made Dave Chappelle like it was like my dad was like, good job, son. You know what I'm saying?
He really laughed at it?
Yo, no, the place erupted, yo, to the point where they're like, I was like, I got to get this DVD. That's going to be.
Were you on mic?
No.
You're yelling from the crowd?
In the room, from the doorway.
So you're like, that's why they call it assault.
They call it assault. And it was like half a second. I was like, that flopped. And then the fucking place went crazy.
That's amazing. And by the way, I love that the half a second was long enough that you're like,
I know. I was like, oh, fuck, I should have shut my mouth. Hey, so speaking of the cellar, September 27th, live Juan Epstein at the second cellar, which is called the Village Underground. So
Cellar of J's.
Cellar of J's. We're doing a live Juan Epstein, so please put it on your calendars now. It's going to be at 8 o'clock, 7:30 for Spanish and black people. And
Ciph, why don't we get Chappelle to do that one?
That'd be crazy.
At a comedy club. Why don't we get Chappelle to come do it there?
That's a good
He can
idea.
smoke his fucking cigarettes. He can talk shit.
I'll try to do that.
Can we work on that?
September 27th. Lock it in now.
All
I
right.
don't fill this joint, I'm going to kill myself.
It holds like 100 people, right?
Not the second one. It's like 200.
Yeah. All right. And when are tickets on sale?
Soon.
All right, yeah, I need that information to give people.
All right.
All right, let's get to the boy Way.
Yes.
What's up?
Who's in the building all the way
Way,
from
what's up?
Bangkok.
How you guys doing?
All the way.
All the way.
All the
Wow,
way
you're
up.
really good at words. I'm going to enjoy saying Bangkok throughout the day, by the way. I want to, as many times as that could come up. So I guess I first heard about you from Laura a while ago.
Laura Styles?
Mm-hmm. And then we hung out in
Japan,
in Tokyo.
Yes.
And met you at dinner. No, met you out before dinner. Met you outside the hotel.
Did we?
With
Wait,
Buddha.
okay.
Yeah, I think
Recently?
so. This is last week?
Oh, last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago in Japan.
In Japan.
And you know, I knew you were an artist, etc. And Laura was like, him and his wife, they're really mage. They're awesome, blah, blah, blah. But we're hanging out, and honestly, I'm not just saying that 'cause you're here. I really didn't think about any of the artist stuff because you guys are like the only people around us who weren't us, who we hung out with, who are basically American, right? Who are like speak fluent English and are really cool.
They are American.
Yeah, I know. Well, basically American. American adjacent because now they're kind of sellouts.
I know they sold out, but that doesn't make them less American.
You're right. It's absolutely true. No, so we're just hanging out because he's super cool. So we went to Golden Guy. You ever been to Golden Guy in Tokyo, Zay?
I don't remember.
That's the Kill Bill restaurant, right?
No. Golden Guy was the little bars, the mini bar.
Okay.
Because that was I saw you at the Kill Bill restaurant,
Yeah.
which was delicious, by the way. I'd
What
never.
do you mean, the restaurant where they like fight?
Yes.
The big fight?
Mm-hmm. That's where we had like the big Emmis dinner or whatever. And by the way, I'm not gonna lie, it did bother me of all the things that have happened since you've left the station. Most of them are like, whatever, Ciph wouldn't care. I was like, it's kind of
that
fucked
one-
up that this has happened after Ciph's
That
gone.
would have been my shit.
I was like, I said to Laura before we went, I was like, Ciph should be on the Japan trip. Although it worked out because you ended up being on Hot 97 while we were gone, which is kind of
I know,
fun.
which is fucking
which
weird.
was entertaining.
You
But
had to fill in?
I did they have like mixed weekends. They asked me to do like the mixed weekend. It was
but
weird.
you did your old slot too, right?
You know what's funny? Both my old slots.
Saturday and Sunday.
No, Friday. Oh yeah, Friday wasn't. No, you know I call it my old slot because I always used to start the mixed weekends Friday at noon.
Right. Oh, you did that too.
Yeah, Friday at noon, Saturday 3.
All right, we got at the end. Let's circle back around to that because I want to hear
Circle
about
back.
that. So we went to we had delicious Kobe beef at that restaurant, and then we went to Golden Guy, which is this neighborhood in Tokyo with these tiny bars that hold about 5-6 people in each. Although somehow we managed to get there, we hang out. Then these guys and Camillo shows up, and we end up fitting like 17 people into this. It's not the bartender who owns this place was so fucking happy because normally it's 5. You have 2-3 people in there all night, and it was packed with us.
Yeah,
we spent more money than he probably ever makes on a random night. And so we're talking, and his wife was Way's wife was trying to figure out Snapchat. So she's trying to figure out Snapchat, and she's showing us blah blah blah, and she's like, Laura's explaining to her that, if she posts on Instagram, blah, blah, and so her phone's going back and forth. And when her phone goes past me, I look at her profile up, and she has like 2.4 million followers.
Yeah,
and,
big time.
And because I hadn't processed anything except they were the cool people we're hanging out with, I was like, yo, you already have 2.4 million followers. And thus, I then started paying attention that beyond being cool people, the interesting...
You was around somebody.
Yeah, not only cool, but y'all are like way more mage than me. And I was like, who are these guys? So I started looking at your story a bit more, and that's what we wanted to tell, the story about you being from here and now being one of the biggest stars in Thailand. Your wife is a huge star as well, a race driver turned TV personality.
She was a DJ. She was a DJ on the radio.
Before or after the race cars?
During.
Naturally, of course.
Yeah, please.
Okay, we'll get to your wife in a little bit. So let's start with you, Wei.
Yeah,
where are you from originally?
From here, from New York.
What part of New York?
From Queens and Brooklyn and Queens. I was born in Patterson, but I was just born there.
Okay.
But my family is from Brooklyn. I lived in Queens for a little bit here and there, and then Thailand.
And you're Thai.
And Thai.
Are there a lot of Thais in New York?
Yeah, there's about like 40, 50,000. They're mostly in Queens.
And mostly in Queens too.
Are they like the least? I don't know how to say it. Least
the
amount
smallest,
of Asian,
the
smallest
smallest Asian group
population.
I don't know. I just know that
40, 50,000 is not nothing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Asian.
There's Thai restaurants all over the city.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
true.
Queens.
I don't know
So there's a lot of Thai people. There's a lot of people from New York.
Tons of Chinese, Korean, Japanese,
Filipino,
the Mexicans of Asia.
They're
not respected.
His wife's Filipino.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I don't ever really think about there being a big Thai enclave here either. But let's be honest, every group in New York has a huge population. So where in Queens?
Did I stay?
Yeah.
85th in Jamaica.
85th in Jamaica.
Woodhaven.
And how long?
Woodhaven?
In Woodhaven?
Oh, nice. The group that I manage is from there.
Oh, okay.
Where?
Collabo.
Why did your parents end up here? And when did your parents end up here?
My pops moved to America when he was like 13. Mom Dukes was about 21. A
13-year-old bagged a 21-year-old?
No. They met later.
They met later.
Okay.
But
I'm going to help you out. Ciph, I'm going to help you. Just ride along. I got you, okay?
Yo, that's some serious game, yo.
Yeah, right?
And how old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
35.
35. Okay, so you were born same era that we're...
Yeah.
Well, Sife's a little older than us. Yeah. But, I'm 37. I'm a little older than you, too. But so born into just the awesome late 80s, early 90s hip-hop.
Yeah.
And you just fell in love?
Fell in love. I just fell in love with it.
Sorry, 1 second, Wei. You gotta stop talking to him like he's not from here, yo.
He's just straight up American.
Talk to a New Yorker about getting his hustle on in another country.
We're gonna get there.
I know, but you talk like...
But I met him in Japan. He's a star in Thailand. It's very confusing.
How does your Asian ears hear hip-hop? He's a New Yorker, yo. He's from New York.
Hold on. This is unfair. You're acting as if he was just like a random Asian American DJ, as if I would be saying the same thing. It's only because he now lives and is a star in Thailand.
You say, you fell in love with hip hop. We all did.
Okay, hold on. By the way, not everyone. But let's start right there then and go backwards. So, at what point you were up until what age were you in America?
Till about 16.
All right. See, so that's still relatively early to dip. So let's go back though. So this is what were you listening to the most of? What was your favorite shit? What was your
Mobb Deep, Nas, Wu-Tang, Lost Boys, Biggie,
New York shit.
Yo, Big L. Yeah, anything. Helter Skelter, DJ Clue, SNS, Lazy K. Yeah.
You listen to the radio too?
I did. I grew up listening to that ever since Ed Lover and Dr. Dre.
What?
Did I ever tell you Lazy K fight I had?
I've never, honestly, I don't really know who Lazy K is.
Okay, I'll get to that later. Another one up. Mark that down. Earmark that, guys.
Okay, earmark. Lazy K fight. We'll get there.
I mean, High 97, or the Fugees was real big. Mona Lisa.
Wait, what school did you go to?
I think that's the thing. I didn't go. I didn't finish the 9th grade.
Didn't finish 9th grade.
The last high school that I was at was in Jacksonville. I moved around a lot, being You know, when I was
trouble.
a kid. Yeah.
Oh,
And
you were in trouble.
Yeah, and then at that time, my parents were in Thailand when I got shipped to Thailand at 16.
Oh, so when
okay.
did your parents leave? How old were you when your parents left?
13?
Oh, they tried to have you stay.
They tried. They left me with a family, and you know.
And you were too much of a fuck up, and they had to call for you.
What kind of fuck up? What were you getting? What kind of trouble were you getting into?
You know, it's like, cause I was
Streets?
No. I was you know, I was really good in school, but I was lazy.
Me too.
And I would just skip school all the time. You know?
To
You
do
ever
what?
skip school and then go back hang out by the school?
I would get and
That's
hang
the
out
dumb
at the
shit.
school, be in the
That's the dumb
lunchroom
shit I
with
used
all
to
the
do.
girls and just hollering and talking. And you know, I think I had like 4 lunches every day. You know, just stupid shit. I just didn't like school because I'm the type that I can't stay still.
Yeah, boxed you in.
And so I'd be at like friends' house watching movies and shit like that. But
Oh, like in Juice. Remember when they were making the eggs with the beer?
Yes, exactly. Classic.
so
So not bad trouble, but just
and
school fucking up in school.
When I got sent back, I ran away from the family that I was with. So they wanted me to go somewhere for the weekend, and I didn't want to go.
This was your family?
No, it was
Just friends of the family?
Yeah, friends.
They left you with friends of the family? And you were like, nah, I'm not doing it.
In the neighborhood, like right nearby where you lived already?
No, the last family that I was with was in Jacksonville.
Oh, the last time. So hold on.
Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah, Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, shit.
That's her pug.
Yeah,
Wait, so wait a
that's
second.
disgusting. You should have ran away.
Yeah, good call.
Good
So
job.
your parents wanted you to stay in America. Why did they want you to stay?
No, they wanted me to like finish high school, you know.
Just so you
and
could have a degree here.
Yeah,
and
you know, because my pops was very old fashioned, and he was really about, you know, going to school and getting that diploma and stuff.
Did
So,
you speak Thai from jump also?
No, I understood it. My parents always spoke it to me.
But they knew that if they tried to bring you in and transfer you, you'd have problems.
Yeah. So I mean,
He's just
the
like a
plan
Puerto
was
Rican.
never to go back to Thailand, but it was just like my parents had, you know, went through some problems that they had to go back to Thailand, and then they tried to start like a business over there, you know, and they wanted to set up for over there. They stayed out there for like 2.5 years, 3 years. And
Had you ever gone to Thailand before that, like
yeah,
as a kid?
like, as a kid, they would ship us. I say ship because I got shipped, but they would send us during the summer.
Okay, so
you
you weren't like,
yeah.
it wasn't alien to you.
Yeah,
You-
I
you've
mean,
been there
but
before.
like when I was like 6 years
Right.
old, 7 years old, and then I haven't been there till like
Yeah.
16.
So okay, this part's super interesting. So then you're 16 years old, and you go. Now you have to go live in Thailand.
Yeah.
What do you do? Grade? Are you like in the U.S.? Oh, you said you didn't finish 9th grade.
Yeah.
So did you start in 10th grade? Did you have to go back? What did you do when you got to Thailand?
Well, see, my mom was a teacher. She was teaching English at a boarding school, probably like an hour and a half away from
Fancy.
Bangkok.
Okay.
So when I got there, you know, at first I was supposed to just remainder of the school year. You know, I think I got there in January, and I was supposed to stay there for the remainder of the school year. My mom was going to take me back, come bring me back to America, and then, you know, stay with her and then finish high school. I got into the entertainment business over there. Probably like the second week I was there. Some cat from the label, Grammy, one of the biggest labels out in Bangkok, saw me eating dinner with my cousin, and he was like, "You got this look. What do you want to come in for like test? You want to be a singer? You want to do that, this, that, and the third?" And I was like,
Just off the look, because you had an American swag,
"Yeah."
and was
He's a
that not?
handsome guy?
He's a
I don't know how to say that without sounding weird, but he's a handsome guy.
Well, thank you, Saif. You have to look at me even when you said it. You felt weird just telling him, like, you're handsome. Well, I mean, listen, he pulled a beautiful and rich and famous wife, so he obviously did. He's obviously something. So he sees your look, likes it. Your swag was unique at that point.
Yeah, and he was like, "What kind of music do you like to, want to do?" Mind you, I just like and love listening to hip hop.
But you weren't considering it career-wise at that point.
Not at all.
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh, I like rap," and I think I rapped Warren G's Regulator to him.
Perfect.
That in that conversation.
It was a clear black night.
Yeah, basically.
I thought
And,
you were gonna say "Shook Ones" or something.
No, but that was, I don't know, for some reason that was the song that came up. And so he brought me into the label, and then, they had like a casting, like screen test that they called in, and they put you in front of the camera, and then they see what kind of songs that you like to sing, and they were all Thai songs. I didn't know how to speak Thai, so I was like, okay. So they put me in like taking vocal lessons and learning Thai and stuff like that. So I did that for like 6 months, and after the 6 months, they put me in this group, four girls, four dudes, and like it was like a teeny pop group.
Okay.
And basically, I don't know, because a rival label had another group out that had 8 people, and so they needed something to
try to do the same thing, right?
So, so they kind of I look at it like I was just an extra.
Okay, right, okay.
I was extra because I didn't do anything. I was just
in the group.
I was just in the group, and like it was horrible. Like it was like shit that it was like, what the fuck am I doing?
This is a Thai intergender pop Wu-Tang.
Right.
Basically, and then so we came out with this album. It did like 500,000, right? Selling tapes, and we're famous as fuck, but we have no money. The label ain't pay us, and I had a contract with them for like the remaining like 2.5 years or whatever, and I was like,
Your parents were fine with this, or they didn't even really?
They were okay. They were okay after I left the group, and then they put me in a movie, and then I was able to deal for myself. You know what I mean? Instead of being
This is crazy.
I was able to deal for myself and like work out the contracts and see some money from the acting. Right. So they were like, okay, and then
the label put you in a movie?
Yeah, the label put me in a movie.
What was the movie?
It was called 303. It was like a horror movie.
Was it a major release?
It was a major release.
You were the only one from the group. What was the name of the group? The 8 people?
Yeah. How do you want to say it? It was so cheesy. Teen 8 Grade A.
Teen 8 Grade A?
Yeah. In English?
In English.
It was, and that was the name in English?
Yeah, that was the name in English.
Teen
8 Grade A.
And that's the only thing it's called, though. So, like, Thai people would say...
Teen 8 Grade A.
Teen 8 Grade A.
Yeah.
How often are there, like... Yeah. How often are there, like, groups or albums or movies with just an English title because of...
Every movie has an English title. You have to have both Thai and English title over there. So.
Why is that? Why does everyone have English shit? Why is the rest of the world prepared for us and we're not prepared for anyone else?
I don't know. When I directed and produced a movie, I had to have both. Wow. So I don't know the reason why.
Ciph, what about when you directed and produced a movie?
It was just on Instagram.
Okay, so do you become a bit of a star because of the horror movie? Was it a success?
It was like that's when I found out that people were like, "Yo, you could act. You have a natural talent for acting." But the whole thing was the language. So after that, like I fell in love with acting, and I did that, and like the whole cast and crew, like I learned a lot. That was dope. Then they put me in a soap opera. And this is what
you're like, what, like 18?
17, 18.
Damn. So crazy.
So
then they put me in a soap opera as the main dude in a soap opera, and I'm like, because soap operas, it's kind of like in the Spanish
novellas.
Yeah, it's like that. The soap operas are the biggest thing.
Yeah,
everyone watches them.
In entertainment wise, soap operas, music, and then movies.
Wow, soap opera's number one.
Soap operas are number one. If you're like a top soap opera actor or actress, you're getting mad commercials.
And how many big soaps are there? Like 4 or 5? It's like a handful?
It's every 3 months. They come every 3 months.
New ones?
New ones.
Yeah,
so every 3 months.
It's not like here where it's guiding lights.
No, it's not like for 20 years, General Hospital.
Yeah. Right, okay.
It's like every 3 months
almost
there's
like
a new
mini-series kind of.
Yeah.
Ciph, he knows what General Hospital is.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, he's from here. He's from America.
Okay, I'm going to figure this out. I got it. I'm going to figure it out. Okay. All right, so you do this soap opera.
And I hated it. It was the worst fucking experience.
Why? Why was it so shitty?
Because, it was so unorganized. Like, we would come to set and they would, like, change the script right then before we're going to start shooting. And just, like...
You already had a language issue.
Yeah, I already had a language issue.
Shit.
I can't read. You know what I'm saying? I can't read. And then, like,
you had to memorize.
Yeah, I had to have somebody read it for me at that time, and I would write it in, we say karaoke. And like
in English?
I would write it in English. I would write it so it's like
Holy
Sawadee Ka, so it would be S say.
Oh, you like sounded it out like
That's how I sounded it out.
Hold on. Requires more thought. Were you playing someone who was foreign?
No.
You were playing as if you were Thai and lived in Thai your whole life?
Yes.
How was your accent not shit?
It was shitty. That's why I didn't like it.
Like, because you're an American. Like, that's crazy.
No, you gotta understand. Like, if you like at that time, you gotta understand the production, American production, and Thai production at that time. It's like even now, it's not even compared.
Right.
Okay,
the
right.
Same. So you have to understand that part first. So with that, like that, it was just so horrible. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I had like about a year and a half left on my contract, and I was like, you know what, I'm
soap opera counts towards your label contract.
Yeah, like I mean, I still had a year and a half with the label, and I was like, they didn't know what to do with me, and I didn't want to be in another soap opera, so I was like, you know what?
Is the money good though?
At that time, no, because I was just like a new. Like, you know,
right, so it wasn't crazy money.
It wasn't crazy.
It's not
money.
like your parents are like.
And you gotta understand, it was in Thai baht. It's not in dollars. You know what I mean? So
what's the Thai dollar?
Right now,
Thai
it's like
sign?
No, what's it called?
It's called baht.
Baht.
Baht. So it's Thai baht.
Yeah, Thai baht.
That Thai dollar sign reference should not be underrated. The fact that we actually
It's like an assault.
We're talking about it is. We're talking about Thai dollar signs right now. Okay.
But anyway, like my parents went back before they had left.
To America.
Back to America. Came back to America. Sorry.
You guys bounce around a lot.
And like I had a year and a half left on my contract, and I was like, I did the soap opera. I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm gonna give my mom her GED that she wanted, because I told her that, you know, go back and get the GED. So I did that, and then enrolled in LaGuardia Community College and took some acting classes.
Oh, you came back here.
So you came with them.
No, I came after them.
Oh, but you
after
came
the
back
soap
here.
opera, but
Okay.
they had previously before me.
Got it.
So when you came back here, did you just go live with them?
No,
All right, you lived on your own.
I lived in Sunnyside at that time.
Okay, so you went and lived in Sunnyside.
Yeah.
And at this point, and you
I
reconnect
told you
with.
he was Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he really is Puerto Rican. And did you connect with like your friends from like middle school and shit? Like, you had people here still,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course?
yeah.
So you were connected with your people.
Yeah.
Did you stay in touch with them while you were gone?
At that time, there was, you know, you had to write letters.
Yeah, it's like kind of predates.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
everyone. Only like college kids were on email. Like not everyone was on email
You
at all
had to
the time.
write letters, and you know, I kept in contact. Every now and then, I would get like a phone card, a phone card,
Calling card.
Yeah.
calling card. There you go, and call back home. You know,
So
and,
so you reconnect with your people. You take acting classes, and then what?
and I go to this open call at Columbia University, and it's like 700 people, and I'm waiting there all day. I think I was there since like from 10 o'clock. I didn't get in to see the casting people until about like 4.
Jesus.
And at that time, they were like taking like 20 heads per group now. At first, they were doing one by one. So now there's like 20 heads.
Oh,
in
that
the group. And,
sucks.
yeah, and they're going down the line. Everybody's like, oh, I want to be an actor so bad, or I want to be an actress so bad because acting's my life. And like I was in the middle, right? So they're going down the line, and they come to me, and I'm like, they're like, yo, what do you want to do? You know, they real quick. I'm like, yo, I just never want to have a boring day in my life.
A what?
A boring day in my life. I want to have fun every day. I want to experience shit every day. That's what I told them. And then they went down the line. They were like, okay, you, come here.
That's great.
And then they was like, yo, we want you for a callback, you know, come to this address, whatever. And so like 3-4 callbacks, I got the movie. It was a full-length feature film that went to Sundance. I was like, oh, shit.
What movie was it?
It was called Rhythm of the Saints.
Okay.
It was just showed at Sundance like 2002. But, yeah, and then at that time, I was like, yo, this acting shit is easy. You know, I was really like coming back from Thailand, and that was like the first audition. And I got it.
Wow.
And then,
Rhythm of the Saints, a fantastic Paul Simon album, by the way, for anyone who's never. It was his Brazilian album. Anyway,
Like Rhythm Nation.
No, Rhythm of the Saints. Really good. It was his follow-up to Graceland. Anyways, so you do the movie. You think the acting's a good thing for you.
yeah, I do the movie. I'm still struggling in school because I'm not trying to, like, I never made it past midterms. I went to 3 semesters at LaGuardia, and I never made it past midterms.
Anybody at LaGuardia when you were there? Anybody like?
I mean, people that I know, like, you know, my boys.
No, nobody like who's famous now.
And I was hardly ever there.
Nicki went to LaGuardia, right? Nicki Minaj. That was
Yeah.
probably-
I thought you went to, isn't LaGuardia High School also?
I think she went to the high school.
Yeah, she went to the high school.
Not the community college. LaGuardia's
you went
performer.
to LaGuardia Community?
Yes, bro.
That's a nice response to someone's college.
That's just some regular old school in the Bronx.
Right.
That's like fucking junior
I
high.
thought you went to LaGuardia
No, he's like-
Performing Arts School.
No.
He wasn't special. He wasn't doing some sort of
Sorry.
special.
I
acting.
told you I got my GED, bro.
It's not. LaGuardia is a fine school. I'm laughing at myself for thinking you went to the Performing Arts High School.
Totally different thing.
Okay, so yeah, he's like, anyone famous? Nah, it's LaGuardia.
It's
yo.
LaGuardia Community College.
Like,
We're talking
I'm definitely the most famous guy at a Nassau Community College, yo. Like,
about- you guys could have a serious community college battle right now.
what?
And, neither of you finished.
No, well, he would beat me. He's
Rich.
famous,
He's rich
yeah.
and famous. You're basically no one. It's a good point. Okay,
Just trying to
so
make it.
so continue on. Where do we go after this? Now you've been in film, schools, whatever.
Yeah, it's
Not
cool,
for you.
whatever. But in the meantime, because my boy Khan and Day, who were in Titanium with me, Khan had moved to New York after I dropped out of the soap opera or whatever and came back to New York.
And he had just been your homie over there?
Yeah, he was probably like one of the original Thai rappers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like he's a little older than me, so he was doing it with another group, but it was more like it wasn't really like it was watered down hip hop at that time.
But was he famous at all?
He was famous.
And you had met him from being in the entertainment world?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So, and I mean, like, when I was in Thailand and I was doing the Teen 8 stuff, I was still in the studio with him and just, I was just there around smoked out. I was like the young kid and just watching them record. And I was like, yo, I want to try to get on a track, and he was like, yo, write something. And so that's when it started, like, during that time of being in Thailand and doing the other stuff and then coming back home. Because the funny thing is we all stayed in the same apartment, meaning the apartment complex, where he was, like, on the 8th floor, I was on the 3rd. So whenever he would come off being on tour or doing whatever he was doing, I would come back from the movie set, I'd be in his studio just soaking everything in, watching him. He was, like, to me, and he still is, he's kind of like my Jay-Z for Thai hip-hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he moves. He's like, yo, you going back to New York? I'm moving to New York. I was like, word, bet. And then his boy Day, which is the other cat in my group, he was already here, and that's how we formed Titanium. We every weekend after I would finish, like from Monday to Friday, I would work, bartend, be a waiter at a restaurant, and then the weekend he was staying out in Long Island, and he had a home studio out there, and we would just go to record at the studio every weekend. And then he got a job at the studio in Jamaica, Queens, and he would be there all day engineering for other people and that, but he still had the studio key. So at night we would go in there 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, just go ham
And lays you down.
Yeah.
So this is the beginnings of you figuring out the rap shit.
Yeah.
Did anything come of that specific music then?
Yeah, we did 5 songs in like 2000. We did 5 songs, and when we went back to Thailand and threw a party at that time. Now, mind you, from like 97 to about 99, there was probably a handful of people that you knew listen to hip hop, and like we would have to beg the DJ at the club who was playing like dance music, can you play this Nori record real quick? Like he had came back to Thailand and brought Super Thug, N-O-R-E, and it was crazy. So we would ask to play it at the club all the time. And so then when we went back in 99, 2000, we had these 5 songs. We had 20 copies we were giving out to our friends and family and whatnot. And we did a show, probably like 600 people came. And we were like...
Wait, where was this?
In Bangkok.
Okay.
Like we had went back to Bangkok after doing this 5-song EP. And just when we got off the plane, we realized like, yo, the scene is getting a little bigger. Mm-hmm. We did the show. It was a good turnout, 600 people. We gave away the CDs to our friends. Then kids came up and started asking us, yo, where can we get the CD? They were like, okay, we need to press them up. So we pressed up 1,000, sold 1,000, pressed up 5,000, sold 5,000, 10,000.
What?
Then we knew that we had a market in Thailand.
Right.
And we flew back over here to New York, started working on the debut album, and we set up a .com where we could talk with our fans from over there. And so that was
so this is a group. How many people are in this group?
Three original, and then there's 5 Buddhas in the group,
Right.
and then we have another cat.
But you're the only one that was born in the U.S.
Buddha's born in the U.S.
Oh, Buddha, right. And then the other 2 were born in Thailand.
Born in Thailand, but they lived in Frisco. They grew up in Frisco. They probably came
okay.
over when they were like 13 or something like that.
Just wondering how much the American influence helped.
It helped a lot.
Sure, because this is where hip hop's from. It's
Yeah.
like you had access, or you was around the actual origins, whatever.
So
Yeah,
it helps
that's
with like the
fucking
marketing of it, and even breaking it down to like, because basically we saw what was going on here, and we just brought it back over there. The way
Right.
you had like street teams, the way you gave out
Yeah,
flyers
yeah,
and
yeah,
had
yeah.
T-shirts and just blasting everything. The whole like crew, just entourage, just everything promoting
And out there
titanium,
was
titanium.
something brand new.
Yeah, and it was something totally brand new where it was like, yo, they had to fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
And the guy you were talking about, what's his name, Khan?
Khan.
He was like your mentor,
Yeah,
and then you're in a group with him.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's really crazy.
That's
How often does
crazy.
that ever happen? So so it starts building and bubbling, and you guys are here, connected with your fans back there, learning here. Are you making regular trips now?
So after the first album, which was called Tie Rider,
And who put that? And by the way, did you put that out like with a label? Y'all just did it yourselves?
we did everything ourselves.
Okay.
Like out the trunk.
After,
solely?
once we opened up Titanium Entertainment for Thailand, we did everything's independent. We just whoever for the project, whoever gave us the best deal for distribution, we would
Right.
go with them for that
Right, right,
project. So yeah, we from 2000, we dropped that in 2001, and then we were still wasn't making any money. We would make money here and there just to pay for airfare tickets and then rent. And at that time, now we moved in together. We had
In New York.
In New York. So before we were all separate, and we were like, yo, if we're really gonna take this music thing serious, we moved in together. We built a home studio. And then Khan was just in charge of just making beats all day. So his job was just to be in the studio making beats.
Yeah.
We come back, Day and myself had a job over on university, and we worked together. So after work, we'd be jump on the train, go back home, be in the studio till 6 a.m, go to work. So that was the routine. And so just imagine I wasn't trying to fit school in there.
No.
So,
Once you sold 5,000 copies of a record, at that point, I'm like, all right, this is moving.
So
This story is amazing. Yo.
By the way,
this is the movie right here.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, I'm sure.
soap opera.
so we
It could be a
did that.
dope-ass soap opera.
I like the American. I would go American movie to be totally honest with you. All right, keep going.
So we did that. The first album was it caught a lot of people's attention. And from me being in that group from before and Khan having his previous connections and being in his group, we kind of learned the music game in Thailand. So we mixed that with the American, and we just did it our own way and, put our little twist to it. So I came back, I think 2001, before 9/11. And during that 9/11 period, we was working on our second album, which we stayed in New York for we didn't go back. There was no trips or anything for almost 2 years. And then we dropped that album, which was called Resisting Against the System.
Mm-hmm.
It was a double album. And we had distribution through Sony Music now. So we scored a movie. We did a movie soundtrack called...
How is this all happening, though, if you guys aren't once you were with Sony, is that or was it just still
kind of
on
once when we got distributed by Sony, a lot of doors opened.
And was there for the second record, once you did a lot the first time, on the second one, was there radio play? Was there...
Yeah, there's a lot, they wanted that, it was the demand. They had to play it. So we dropped this one song. It's called Yaklai, right? And it kind of just shook the whole industry. We shot a video here in New York, and we brought it back over there, and it was a double album. And we were talking about our subject matter was just about how fucked up the music industry in Thailand was, because you're getting
Label, son.
yeah, and so it was raw at that time. You're young, 22, 23.
It was called Yuck Life?
Yuck Light. Yeah.
What, can I ask you something real quick? All this stuff you're doing, these albums, you're rapping in Thai?
Thai and English.
Okay. So you're mixing
English.
it up.
So some of the hooks are like majority. If the majority of the hook is English, then the verses are in Thai.
Right.
Or vice versa.
All right, here it is. 9 years ago, 530,000 views.
And that's because it got taken down a couple of times.
Oh, this opening graphic is repug. These fonts at the beginning, it's tight.
So you got this.
Oh, I have other things playing. I'm messing up. Let me just keep watching. There you go. We're checking out. By the way, it's YUKLAI.
Yeah,
And titanium, the Thai is spelled THAI. Got it. All right, so keep going while I'm watching this video.
Yeah, so we dropped that record, right? And it just that had
Exploded.
the club on smash. And, we still wasn't like, we were getting enough money, like I said, to pay for tickets and all that stuff. And we dropped that album, and we still had to fly back and forth between America and Bangkok. So we can only stay in Bangkok for like a period of like a month and a half.
Right.
And then come back.
Real quick important thing we're missing here. Are you guys in the world you're living in Queens, when you're making this music and stuff, are you in like the Thai community still?
No.
Not at all.
I've never lived in the Thai community.
But were you? But did you jump in and out of it? Like, did you go to family events where you're still around a lot of Thai people?
I mean, I worked at a Thai restaurant, I've never lived in. I never lived in like say Jackson Heights.
That's like all Thai people.
Yeah, we're all Thai.
But were Thai people in America, like the young Thai people, aware of what you were doing?
Yeah.
In other words, were you getting pussy because of your music at that point in time?
I was getting pussy before that.
Period. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's different. I forget. He just was getting pussy. He was getting pussy.
Face
when I asked that,
just screwed up something.
He was like,
"What are you talking about?"
He was like, "Yo, listen to me. He's square."
Pussy was never even a problem.
Yeah, what are you even talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't even understand what the fuck you're saying right now.
Why are you bringing up
But
the
people did know.
most obvious shit I used to get?
Before I got anything. So, but the Thai world was aware in America, like, in the restaurant, people knew you were kind of popping and you're doing your own thing.
Yeah. And so, like, shout out to my manager. His name is So. He let me come back whenever I wanted to.
You
like,
needed to.
Yeah,
right?
whenever I needed to, or like, he would let me do my thing. And,
I love those guys, man.
Oh, the manager of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's dope. Do you still know him at all?
Yeah. He's down in Florida, and he just opened up a restaurant down in Florida. But
Are you doing any shows here, or trying to? Like,
I've done shows here.
No, but then,
like at that time, were you just going to Bangkok and Thailand?
Nah, actually our first show ever as Titanium was in Chicago.
Big Thai community there?
Yeah.
Okay.
A big Thai community.
Bigger than here?
I
Like
think so.
okay.
I think so. I think we did, like, that night was like 700 people. I was amazed at how many people were there and that knew the song when we dropped the first album.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then we did Chicago twice. Buddha was on. We met Buddha for the second time we did Chicago.
You're Chicago, Buddha? You're from here, but you were just out there? Why was he out there? Buddha, grab a mic. Here. Why did you meet him in Chicago?
No, we needed a DJ.
We met over here.
Ah, and you brought him out there. He brought
me out there, yeah. We met in the club in Lower East Side, Avenue A. It was like Tapis Rouge. He came up to me, he's like, "Yo, you're Thai." I was wearing a Buddha necklace. Like, like people wear Jesus cross over here. I was like wearing the Buddha. And he was the first cat that actually recognized me as Thai. I was like, he's like, "Yo, I got a Thai group in Thailand." I said, "What? Y'all rap out there?"
It's funny because nobody ever thinks that he's Thai. Nobody ever thinks that I'm Thai. So it's like, he was like, "Yo, you Thai?" I'm like, "Yo, you Thai?"
What do people think you are?
Spanish mixed with like white or
What
something.
about
They
you?
think I'm some kind
What
of
do
like
you think you are,
mix.
Buddha?
Japanese.
No, those people are racist. You don't look.
It's just racist.
Yeah, you look like something else though. Way.
Mexican.
You've been talking about his looks all day. So
What are
let's just be honest.
Sorry, is that weird?
You'd be like, he's so handsome. You look like something else.
Am I way gay?
You're
Gay
way. You're gay for way.
Gay
There's
for
no
way.
question. So
So pretty much he just invited me. He's like, "Yo, we got a group." I said, "Yo, let me check out your music first." I went to the studio.
and what were you doing at the time? Just DJing?
I was DJing, trying to get my hustle on. I was at the Tunnel, Avalon, Limelight, Speed, whatever I could do.
Opening up.
No, I was doing.
Do you guys know each other or no?
No, I know of course I know of
Ciph.
Ciph. Of
Ciph
course.
was popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm somebody, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Killing it.
But I was just on my grind, you know. I mean, just Asian kid trying to DJ these major clubs, like what all these other big DJs were, doing these clubs.
Side note for both of you, as Asian kids in the hip hop scene, we listened here. We sat in these very same seats as the Beatnuts really broke down like just how much bullshit they went through being Spanish. I have to imagine the bullshit you go through being Asian is much worse.
Everybody thinks we don't speak English, so
like,
they scared to talk to us.
Hip-hop, like, you know.
Do you like rap?
Yeah, right?
I hate. I mean, even in New York, which is supposed to be the most progressive city ever,
Right.
the ignorance levels, yo, it pisses me off.
I didn't really get much love, but
did you get straight up? We're talking about the 90s, isn't that long ago? But did you get still just straight up racism to your face about shit?
not that much, but it was like, oh, you DJ? Or like, oh, you any good? Like, stuff like that.
Okay.
But I DJed a lot of parties uptown. I had another Spanish DJ with me, so we traveled a lot. I also rolled with Spin One and Camelo back in the day. Like
Okay.
a young cat, just like looking up to them. So just following.
Wait,
the
you're from
movement.
Queens?
Jackson Heights, Queens, yeah. Same block, right around the way from Camelo. So
Are you a heavy hitter?
yes,
Okay, I thought
heavy
so.
hitters, suckers.
Gotcha. So y'all linked up then. You go out to Chicago, DJ this show. Now, so you must have been even more surprised when you go out there and
like,
see how poppin' it was.
I'm like, yo, these Thai kids doing hip hop, like Thai mixed with English. I was like, yo, they popping. The beats is tight, you know. So I was like, all right, I fuck with y'all. So
I brought him out to Thailand.
and they flew me out to Thailand. I was like, yo, what
Had you ever
is-
been out there?
Yeah, back, but I hated it.
You were a kid.
Hard, like family stuff. I didn't see the other side that they showed me. So once they showed me that, I was like, yo,
What, the hip hop world? The fact they were-
hip hop,
they-
like the club scene, the nightlife, like it was popping.
It's like cha-ching.
I was like, yo, we could do something over here. And at that time, I was in a long relationship. I was dating a Colombian girl, and she broke my heart. And then
And you were like, fuck it, I'm
I was
out.
like, fuck it, I'm out. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
Buddha, how long have you been in Thailand?
About almost 12 years now.
And is that it for you? Like, do you assume that you come back here though?
Yeah, I got family here,
So you come back several times a year?
Yeah, we try at least twice.
At least twice a year.
LA or New York.
But do you imagine that you will stay in Bangkok?
I think the base is.
That's it.
Yeah, but I definitely want to get a crib out here
At some point.
Yeah, travel back and forth.
All right.
But like sorry, Alex.
Go ahead, please.
No, like you're a New Yorker at heart, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like when you're out in Thailand, I mean, you obviously made a life for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's still that New York vibe never goes away. Like you got to be looking out like, yeah, I'm getting all this money. Like a New Yorker, like
It's the hustle.
Like a lot of New Yorkers we know that move to LA. And then everyone in LA is laid back except for the New Yorkers, and they always like running around,
exactly,
and the LA
on the
people be like,
grind.
yeah, I heard these guys are always chill out for a little while, yo.
They spend their life complaining about things. Literally, the next 50 years, they might only lived in New York till they were 25, and then until they're 75, they're still complaining about like the food isn't the same in New York.
I know comedians like Bobby Collins, who's like in his 50s, and he moved out to LA years ago, and he's still like, he's a New Yorker.
He just never stops complaining. Also, I was going to say to you, Way, like, is it weird? Okay, like one of the things that I find that I love about going to Japan is that the communication, for example, and I imagine there's this part would be similar in Thai because this is mostly about language. The language is so different that as a result, the way mannerisms are different and culture is just very different.
Yeah.
Is it weird / constantly interesting operating in these two ways that are culturally so different?
Because I'm mad at, I'm American. I consider myself American, and then it took me a while to understand the way that the Thai mentality of the Thai culture was, because it's like in most Asian countries, they're about the saving face, where Americans are just straight up like, yo, I don't like this. Yeah. But Asian culture is like, you might not like it, but we'll go this way and say that we don't like it. You know what I'm saying? They beat around the bush sometimes, which is, in some aspects it's good and bad. But it took me a while to
because you want somebody to be straight up with you.
Yeah, and for that example, you know what I'm saying? So it took me a minute, and now I understand. Now I understand like their mentality, and the American mentality.
So let's get back to the career trajectory. Second album comes out, becomes a big thing, more opportunities open. At what point does it go like to just a whole different level?
We come back to New York, and like within like a month, we come up with this album called Thailand's Most Wanted. It's about 10, 11 tracks. And the biggest, like, we came out and we dropped it. We were like, yo, this is the album. We went back to Thailand, dropped it, and it was just bananas. We were doing like...
That's not the single, though. That was from the album before that you were talking about.
No, this is from the new album. Once the new album hit, like that Yakulai was on...
Was on the previous one.
Was on the previous, which like shook like the whole, entertainment.
But now this next album.
Like we get back to New York after staying in Thailand for like maybe like 2-3 months. We do another album. After just giving them the double album, we gave them another album within like a month and a half. Go back, and that album just took us
someplace else.
Yeah.
Do you know what it sold? What it sold to date?
It's probably like 100,000. But the sponsorship that came in, the shows. Now we were touring, like we were going to Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia. We were in Paris shooting commercials. So like corporate was like heavy. Because
this was just unheard of. Was there anyone else at the time who was a rap star in Thailand in the mid-2000s?
No.
We
were the group.
This was the group.
So anybody that tried to their version of hip hop or rap, it wasn't flying for what we, because the beats were from like New York.
Right.
The flow was like back then, the flow, everybody who tried to rap always sounded the same. But now our flows were like Americanized.
Right.
Mixed with Thai words.
Yeah.
It's the perfect thing, and it's funny, I keep having this. People don't. By the way, this is going to sound overly patriotic, okay? I acknowledge every flaw with America. But when it comes to art that is created in America, foreign fan bases always want American shit. If it's an art form that truly was born here. Mm-hmm. So, like, I get in all these arguments online with, like, when I even talk about grime being, like, a subgenre of hip-hop, people, like, freak out. They just want it to be utterly separate. They don't want any...
Yeah, it's not...
They don't want there to be any relationship whatsoever, right?
I don't know. I mean, I know why.
I know why, too.
But you gotta...
I get it, but it's stupid. Facts, I get it, but it's stupid. And, like, I'm like, listen, like, right now, I just did an interview recently about grime, and I'm like, you guys can talk about what's going to happen and it really going to another place. I was like, give me Stormzy or Skepta. I think Stormzy, just voice-wise and him being fresh and new, I need him to do the hook on an American record, and you will see things change. And for records to cross over here, I'm like, it's got to have something here that Americans can identify with and that Brits feel, but there's a taste of America in it. Mm-hmm. I get it. Everyone wants to have their own shit. I understand. But as you saw firsthand, what made you guys completely on another level was that you were inherently, authentically Thai, because you are, even though in your mind you must be thinking like, we're actually kind of a fraud as being Thai, because you were really American through and through, right? Yeah. But because of aesthetically what you look like and your family background, you have this tie, no pun intended, to Thailand, right? But you have the American style. That's that combination. Of course, the kids fucking ate it up.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they could relate to you and be like, yeah, but we're like a part of that shit. So what level did it do? Like take us up to now. What is life like for you guys right now?
Well, we're still touring. We still tour. We still do music. We do a lot of festivals. Now from after, like before it was just a bunch of club shows. But when Thailand's Most Wanted, it was just festivals, college campuses, like big, just massive amounts of people. Yeah. Like I think we did one festival where I think I performed in front of 300,000 people, which was just bananas on a beach.
300,000 people.
I don't even. That's not even.
Thanks for saying it slower, Buddha.
Buddha. We want to translate, make you understand.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of fucking people.
And what about so how many more albums after that? Thailand's Most Wanted.
So yeah, Thailand's Most Wanted, and we toured Thailand's Most Wanted for almost 5 years.
What?
We dropped singles. We did like, certain songs for like whatever campaigns or whatever.
Yeah.
But we hadn't had an album since Thailand. Well, we
You
had
was
an
rocking off that
So
album.
from Thailand's Most Wanted, say 2005, 2006, all the way to about 2010, 11, we didn't drop an album. Then we dropped another double disc. And that just like, okay, it was more grown up and more like, we had to give them a double album. And now it's 2016. We're about to drop another album.
Drop another. Now, have you done solo projects as well or no?
I'm doing a solo project now. That's why I'm doing.
That's what this promo is as we speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never did a solo. There was no other solo stuff in between all that
Yeah,
stuff?
but like, certain songs here and there.
Right.
But this is like my official, and I'm doing it all in English too. So with this project.
And when's this project out?
Hopefully, if everything goes right, by the end of this year.
So you're doing it all in English.
All in English.
And it's under just the Boy Way. This is just you. Mm-hmm. And is the group still involved, production-wise and things like that?
Yeah.
Or are you like, fuck these guys, Buddha, get the fuck out of here?
No.
It's time for me to do me.
I'm definitely get beats from Khan. We'll work when the time is right.
And I say this with all due respect. Please respect.
Accept
forgive
your
my ignorance, but like, are you like? Can you like walk around Thailand? Like, do you get mobbed, or like how big are you guys? Like,
I mean, like people know who I am. Like sometimes I feel like I want to hide myself, but they like, how the fuck did he know that was me? Like sometimes, like I think that you gotta. I'm tall too, for Thailand. So like I kind of stick out.
He's big.
Yeah, Buddha. How about you tell us what's it like for him over there?
Yeah, he's a superstar.
Crazy?
Straight up. Yeah. Get mobbed.
but like not just hip hop fans, like
Everyone, because he's beyond that rap
Yeah.
superstar. He's like,
Well, have you done more acting recently too, or no?
No, I'm just for Raz. I haven't done acting in about 2-3 years.
But you said you directed a film
Yeah, that was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
That was 3 years
Were
ago.
you in it too, or just
I was in it.
and directed it
Yeah.
and produced it?
Yeah.
And did it do well?
It broke even.
Broke even. Oh, that's pretty good. What was it about?
It was kind of like two cats that worked in a convenience store, kind of like clerks.
Okay.
But the whole thing took place in a convenience store. It was talking about life
in Thailand.
in Thailand.
And so how did you meet your wife?
Where's the Marion Kelly Ripa come into play? Like,
If Kelly Ripa was a race car driver and DJ.
yeah, explain this.
Yeah,
to
so
me.
tell us about, first of all, tell everyone your wife's name and how this came to be.
Her name is Nana. Nana, we met at the radio station. She used to be so basically, like in the morning, it was probably like the radio station's anniversary or something, and they were all doing like this this celebration for the radio station. Everybody was just dropping in, and it was like real early in the morning, and for some reason I was like the appointed one to go to it. So I was like hungover or whatever, and I'm going, and people are like taking pictures, and then like she comes in and she's like mad happy, and my manager goes like, "Oh, this is Nana. She races cars, and she just won something at this, at this cup or like whatever race. Excuse my ignorance too. I don't know what. Yeah, this racetrack. There you go. And I'm like, you? She's like, man, she's like 5 foot tall.
Racing other women or
Dudes.
racing against dudes?
Dudes too. So Formula 3 is, and I'm like, really? And you won? And so by then she asked to take a picture, and then she told me like she had a little crush on me. One of her colleagues told me that she had a crush on me. So I was like, okay. So every time I went to the radio station, I would check for her. Whether I had a girl or whatever, I'd be like, I'd talk to her, hey, what's up? Yada, yada, yada. And then probably like 4 years later, I was single, and she was single, and yeah, it just started hanging out.
And how long did she stay doing radio?
For a total of 8 years. Right before she got pregnant, before she got pregnant, she...
And I forget it.
What?
It was a joke that was gonna bomb.
Okay. I'm glad you recognized it before it happened. And so what did she get into after radio?
So she helped me with the movie. She helped produce. Like me and her, we work together. We have barbershops too, and she kind of like manages me in certain things.
So she manages. She helps you with all the business.
I'm gonna start getting depressed.
But she doesn't have it. I watched a clip of you guys on TV, and I thought it was her TV gig.
Yeah, she has a
I didn't
TV
understand
show.
what the fuck was happening. Of course,
she has a TV show. She has a morning show that's on Sundays, kind of like The View, if you want to.
Okay,
with her and her girlfriends.
Nationally in Thailand.
Yeah,
and it's on Sundays.
It's on Sundays.
And the episode I saw, you popped up. You were cooking with her. You were doing something.
Cooking.
You never did cooking on her show?
Not on her show. I think we did.
Oh, you
cooking
guys
on a show.
On another show. I'll be honest.
shows.
When you don't understand anything that's happening, like it's totally a different experience. That's what I mean. It's so like there's a difference between American culture, obviously, and like Spanish culture, right? But there's more of a bridge that you can understand when you literally don't even have one word to share. It's tough.
The languages come from the same place,
right?
The religion is similar, so there's like you could find some similarity, but like Eastern culture is like
no, Eastern culture makes it totally different. It's so cool.
And the thing about Eastern culture is every country has their own language, so it's not like in
how do you
South America where they speak
Spanish
maybe like
mostly?
Yeah, it's totally different.
But how do you do shows in like you were saying like Indonesia and those other places?
English is the
that was the funny part.
Common thread.
Yeah, that was the funny part about being with them in Japan because I can't remember what little situation came up. But here are these guys who are like big shots in Thailand, right? And I'm like, and they're in Japan, and I realize they don't know what the fuck's going on either. And you naturally, because you're an ignorant, stupid American, you just think like, well, they live closer to here. They're gonna have some idea. No, they were just us also. Like we're just in Japan. You know, you guys have been there before, but like. Still just total foreigners.
We still have to go with like a translator or like
right,
somebody local, or else we're like, damn, what the fuck did you say?
Yeah,
like there's no communication there.
Utterly. I had that obligatory moment. This is my second time in Japan, Cipha. I'm sure you know this. That moment, like mostly every cab ride is fine, and somehow you figure it out. But I had that one where it's just like, we're not figuring this out. You're not figuring out where I'm going. And you can't help but just like repeat things over, but they don't understand. So you're like,
keep repeating. And
it's near this hotel. Near this hotel.
You can enunciate anywhere. They're still not going to like.
You're just saying blah. Blah.
Well, imagine someone saying Japanese to you slower. I'd be like, nope. It doesn't matter how slow you go. Hey,
dude,
dude,
you need like a room key or something.
Guys, I tried. Our hotel. Were you at our hotel?
Yeah, I was.
You were at the shit hotel too. Our hotel, no one knew where the fuck our hotel was. Ebro's hotel, you'd be like, oh, and they'd be like, yes. Mine, they'd be like, nah. I'd still have to ask again. Yo, guys, this was so cool. I'm glad we did this.
Thank you.
So, where can people find you? How can people follow along here? People are going to be curious as shit now.
On my Instagram, IG, DABOYWAY, theboyway.com. On my Facebook, it's the same name. On my Snapchat, it's the same name.
The Boy Way Buddha and
one more time.
DABOYWAY.
Yep.
And Buddha, what about you?
Instagram DJ Buddha, DJAYBUDDAH, or hashtag RunBKK. Real easy.
Hold on, I missed you too. What's your IGA? Sorry.
DJ Buddha, DJAY.
We're real professionals, by the way, in case you can't tell.
BUDDAH.
That's not that hard, honestly. I feel like I should have already followed you. Guys, this has been really, really cool.
Much love.
Listen, Way, you're killing it. Get your IG up because your girl's just fucking crushing you. But you're still out there. I mean, he's got 700,000 followers, but she's just, it's just destruction.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Guys, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Ciph, hold on. Full circle. You wanted to say something. I said we're going to come back there. Not the Lazy K fight. The station. How was the station thing?
Station was good, man.
Was it weird being not only being on? Did you host too? Did you mix and talk?
Drewski. I mean, I talked, but Drewski was there.
He was like
Drewski
lead.
was the jock. Yeah.
Was that weird? He's opening the brakes like I got my man Cipha Sounds. You're like, shut up, bitch! You're my intern.
Nah. Hell
you didn't say that.
No, I love Drewski.
That would have been.
Drewski used to like work for me, like almost. He was like an intern.
It was like he worked for you.
Sorry, Drewski used to work for me.
It was sort of like indentured servitude.
No, but I don't like.
Have you ever heard
man.
of slavery?
No, man.
I'm just kidding.
I don't like to say it like that because my shit. This is how I work.
Here we go.
Do some shit for me, and you get to be around the game and learn the game. But I might need you to go get the car and carry these crates. But that's your payment to be in the game. So I hate saying it like, oh, he worked for me and my intern. Like, I always knew Drewski was going to be Drewski. Now he's Drewski.
No, well, that's still. But I agree with you, and you're immense for saying it that way. But you putting someone on is still putting someone on.
Yeah, but I did know that. I will say this: Friday, 12 o'clock, I was about 85%. I wasn't all the way there.
Mixing.
I wasn't all the way up.
Okay.
No, mixing was fine, but like
energy, just like the feeling.
Like I was trying to follow the list too much because I know the boss was there. I didn't want to get never be invited back. Too much in my head, and also like certain remixes I play. I'm like, oh, I don't. Do I have a clean version?
You're right. Because you haven't been on.
So it throws you off. So you got to throw on the regular version. It's not the one you wanted to play.
Right.
Shit like that. And then Drewski would do the breaks, but I could tell Drewski felt like the way you're saying it.
Yes.
The opposite way.
He felt. You mean he felt like he wanted you to.
I can't lead the break though. This is your show, your station. I'm a guest. You got to lead this break.
Right.
Right.
Out of pure respect, though, he naturally feels like
he naturally fell back a little. And also, when we DJ together, I'm more on the mic. He DJ, so it's like a natural thing. But I was like, nah, you're the man now. You're the man here. You got to lead this. And then that night I went home and fixed up everything that might not have been clean, blah blah blah. So Saturday I was ripping through that shit.
Have you? Did you follow up with anyone from there? Did do anything or not?
I emailed them again, but I didn't get a response yet.
Yeah, because P.O. was gone.
We grew up.
No, P.O. wasn't gone. P.O. was there. Sorry,
he was there. Yeah.
P.O. was there. Everyone else was gone.
Yeah, everyone was gone, but it was great.
What did you say?
I said we grew up listening to Ciph, so that's the OG.
Cipha Saturdays?
Respect that, man.
Respect.
That's Cipha Saturdays.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sound.
It was fun. It was not like it was not like, it's different, but it's also the same. Like,
no, it's not that different. It's not that different. All right, this has been fun. I'll see you next week.
Yo, listen, live.
All right, here we go.
So, you said
plug.
You said take over the live part of Juan Ep. Now I'm doing it, and you're mocking me, yo. Live
oh, yeah, that's right. I did say that.
September 27th.
Yep.
Live at the Village Underground.
Let's see if Ciph books a guest. Otherwise, it'll just be us.
Well, we got Celebrity Marauders in town. I'm just trying to get more. So Carter now.
Oh, so Cardi can come through.
Carter now will be one of the guests.
Okay.
Trying to get other ones.
All right.
Because Carter now's story.
Oh no, he has story.
Is also phenomenal
and also foreign in its own way.
And why the fuck is he one of my best friends and we've never had him on?
Because he's a dick. What did he just do to me? Yeah, what did he just do? He didn't invite me up to Toronto.
You were in Japan.
No, for his birthday.
Oh yeah, he disrespected me.
Yeah, he disrespected. But anyways, we'll make up on stage that day. I look forward to it.
Is that machine still on? Because it went off.
Let's get out of here.